know what's going on with YouTube with the going live situation, at least the vertical live. It's been giving me a lot of problems the last week. I don't understand. It's very difficult. So if it seems like I'm getting on here slower and slower each day, it's because of the technical difficulties. But yeah, I'm doing my normal thing. Just dropped the kid. Had it. Actually, I'm running to run to do an errand before I go to the gym today. So definitely doing yoga, but going, thank you, going to run an errand, then do yoga. But yeah, back to the normal routine, the weekly routine. I stay busy, stay doing something. Anyway, I don't know if you guys saw what we're going to talk about today. I made a post, basically on Threads. It might have been yesterday or the day before yesterday. I can't even remember. But I was talking about how it's very rare that you can go 50-50 with a guy. Here's the thing. All right, let me back up a little bit. Let's just talk about how, first and foremost, patriarchy has undervalued women's labor and made it seem like, one, that women want to do certain jobs. They're they were made to do certain jobs like rear children and cook and clean, and they should be like, they should just do them automatically. Let's start there. And then the other thing is they've undervalued that labor to make it seem like it's not worth anything. In reality, the labor that women have provided, especially in marriages over the decades or centuries or however you want to put it, the labor that has been provided is extremely valuable labor. However, they have labeled it as not worth anything. So it has no financial value. However, like, things have changed to the point now where they're starting to acknowledge that child rearing, cleaning, cooking, household management, those things are worth a lot of money. So therefore, when men are like, they think a lot of men actually believe that if they pay all the bills, that they are paying the equivalent price of that labor, and that's just false. Just because you pay the rent and the food bill and the utilities does not mean that you are paying the full value of somebody who manages your house, runs your errands, raises your children, cooks all your meals, and cleans your home. That's like 5 jobs. You're not paying the equivalent when you pay rent for yourself. So that means you're only paying half for the woman. Whatever you're paying does not equal the amount of labor, free labor, I have to say, that women are providing. So this is something that has been going on for so long, and I'm so happy that women are like waking up like, wait a minute, wait, time out. What are you talking about? I am providing you a service for free, and you think just because you went outside the house to work and you get sick pay and sick days and you get benefits and all of those things, that you are even close to equal to what I'm doing is crazy. But women have woken up. Women are waking up and like, no, 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 no. This is not okay. So that's the first part. Like, men have for so long gotten over on a system that took women's labor and made it zero financially. Now they're starting to see that it's not zero. It's not zero. It's worth a lot, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of labor that men have been benefiting from forever, forever. So now that the women are waking up, now the men are, women are like, yeah, I don't have to do this. A lot of women are opting out of marriage, opting out of having kids, just opting out in general, and of course, the men are upset. So anyway, I made this post on Threads. I put it on Facebook too, but for some reason on Threads it like blew up. That it's never truly 50-50 with the men. And the men that want 50-50, let me just point out that I personally, because I feel like a lot of people misunderstand my post. Personally, I don't believe any household that has more than one person in it can survive off of one income. There are very few households that can do that. Most households, most married people, both of the spouses work, both contribute financially. Financially, I want to just be very specific that in this day and age, most women who are married are contributing financially to the relationship. There are very few households right now where it's only the husband working and contributing to the relationship financially. That's just not the norm. And so I think some people, especially some women, like kind of misunderstood. A lot of people misunderstood just because I said it, it's not a true thing. When I say 50-50 is not true, I'm not just talking about the fact that you really don't have a 50-50 breakdown because, and I'll get into that in a second, because men don't contribute 50-50 to everything. But most households, married people, both spouses are contributing financially. However, what studies have found is that women who also work, they get up, they go to work, just like the guy gets up and goes to work. But when they get home, they're still doing the majority of the household labor, which means child rearing, cleaning, cooking, and men are not contributing their fair share, their 50-50 share of that. And that's what's been going on. Like, as society has shifted, as more women are contributing financially to the household, men are not contributing their share of the labor to the household. In fact, most of the married women, when they get divorced, they felt like, especially if they had kids, they had one extra child because their husbands not only didn't contribute to the labor in the household, they made it more labor. They made it messier. They made the house messier. They made things more difficult to clean. In fact, a lot of women, once they get divorced, found that they did less household labor. I think they did a study on this one too. The women that get divorced had less household labor after they divorced their husband. And this is because of patriarchy. Because of patriarchy, cooking and cleaning is inherently female. And that's the problem. Like, so many men think, oh, well, if I work and I bring in money, then I'm doing my job as a man. No, you're not. You're not. Patriarchy makes you think that you are, but you're not. Because having a house, taking care of a home, having children is everybody's responsibility, not just the woman's. And so this is another reason why so many women are opting out of being in relationships, being married, having kids, because right now it's very few men who understand that you can't just contribute to the finances. You got to contribute more than just money, because women are also contributing money. You got to contribute labor that is actual work. And the other thing is, like, so many men are like, well, just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. No, you're an adult. You live in a house. You should know what to do. So many men are so dependent on women, like, still leading the household and saying, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, and delegating a job to them. And that's labor too. Being a household manager, knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, is a job in itself. And if you have to delegate and tell a guy, hey, this needs to be done, that's just a pain in the ass. Like, if you can't figure out the trash needs to be taken out or the refrigerator needs to be cleaned out, and she's still got to tell you, well, what are you? You might as well be an employee, but she can't pay you because she's not getting paid as a manager. So again, it's very frustrating. And other, like, for women are frustrated with this. This is why so many women are like, including myself, I have no plans anytime in the future to share a home with a guy ever again, because I have learned my lesson. Men don't contribute. They don't. Home, just kind of sit around and, like, think, they'll do things like, oh, I cook, but then they don't clean the kitchen. Or they make a bigger mess in the kitchen than necessary just because they cooked the meal. Now, if I cooked the same meal, I wouldn't have made that big of a mess. But then they're like, oh, I cook, so you got to clean. But you have made such a big mess in the kitchen, it's not worth you cooking for me because it made more work for me. So these are the types of things that women are tired of and have given up on when it comes to dealing with men and dealing with the men that, the things that men put women through. And my hope is, I posted this thing and it blew up, but my hope is the men will pay attention to the women saying, yeah, I'd rather pay 100% of my bills, 100% of my bills, than deal with the stress that men put me through. Like, that's just a real situation. Like, women would rather, it's crazy, right? Women would rather pay all of their own bills, which is less. I have to also say, a lot of women pointed out, and that's been my experience as well, that our bills cost less without them. So 100% of my, say it's like $100 a month, I'm just using that as an example, it's still less than me paying half of $300 a month bills, because you now cause my bills to go up more than 3 times. So it's still cheaper for me to like live on my own, pay my own bills. It's cheaper. So yeah. Anyway, let me get a parking space before I run in and do my errand. But yeah, this is why women are tired. And no, don't let me get me started. Don't get me started on weaponized incompetence. Weaponized incompetence. I've dealt with this too, where men will do a job so badly that women still have to come behind them and redo the job, and it's like you don't even want to tell him to do it again because he's done such a bad job, but really he did a bad job on purpose. And I actually experienced that in a relationship as well, where they know they're doing the job badly, they just don't want to do the job, and they're like, oh, if I do a bad job, then she won't make me do it again. Women are tired. We're tired, and we are moving on with our lives and doing things in such a way that we don't have to put up with the nonsense anymore. And the men, it's really the men who are suffering. As many men who think that women are suffering because we're choosing not to give away free labor, we're choosing peace over drama, because a lot of men like to say women bring drama. It's really men bringing a lot of drama into relationships. I mean, even like I saw a post this morning where men are upset because they have a new child and women are not, their wives are not paying as much attention to them. Like, dude, you got a new baby. The new baby's a priority. You are not a priority. But again, this is the type of stuff that women have to put up with in relationships with men, and women are just like, it's easier. Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest. It's easier for women to be single. It's better for our health. It's better for our stress levels. It's just like so many studies have been done that says that single childless women are happiest. I'm not a single childless woman, but I can tell you, I can attest that while I may be attracted to men, I might go out on dates with men, but my experiences thus far have told me that being in a relationship, sharing space with men, way too much work. Costs too much money and costs too much of my time and too much of my because it's too stressful. At this point, I'm really happy being single, and that's not going to change. And while there's a lot of men in the comments like, you're going to regret it when you get older, I'm one of those older people. There's no regrets. In fact, there are so many women who've gotten divorced and they don't regret it at all. Their lives, it's like, unfortunately, the way that patriarchy is set up, so many men are dependent on women's labor that they are the ones who's suffering when they don't have a relationship. They're the ones who are having a hard time when they don't have a relationship. But women, on the other hand, because they were doing everything anyway, they were taking care of the kids, they were taking care of the house, they were paying the bills, they find that when you drop the one person who is causing you the most stress, they thrive. So women are thriving, not being, attached to a man, because even the studies show that married women die younger, they suffer from more sickness. It's in the studies. Like, literally, people have pointed this out. Scientific studies have pointed out that men are kind of bad for women's health. It's just, it is what it is. And, I'm not saying that there aren't good marriages. There are. I'm not saying that some people don't have a balanced relationship, because I've seen people have much more balanced relationships and marriages than traditional ones. And I think that that's great. Like, if you're able to find that, I think that's wonderful. But in reality, the majority of women dealing with men usually ends up with some kind of stress and some kind of burden. And that's why so many women are choosing. I know the men are like, we're choosing to be single, but fellas, listen, y'all are not fooling anybody. Like, you might think you're fooling people, but the women really are like, we're good. We're fine. Like, we're really happy. We're thriving. We're happy. We're good. But the men, you guys, we can see your misery. Like, we can see how unhappy you are. And that's unfortunate, because patriarchy really has made it hard for men to express themselves emotionally, to seek help for emotional distress, to build, like I did a live on this, like, men don't build platonic relationships where they share their problems with other guys, so they have like a support network. Whereas women have a support network. Women have friends and family that they depend on. They're not lonely. Whereas men are kind of lonely because their friends, like I said in the other live, like, men can have a friend drop dead and they didn't even know they were sick. Women don't do that. Women share, I'm not well, the women come in and support them. This is stuff that patriarchy is bad for men, but they don't recognize that it's bad for men. So they're like struggling with all of these confines of patriarchy, because to be a man, you can't be this and you can't be that and you have to act this way. And they're isolated because they can't get beyond the cage of patriarchy, and then they're suffering. Whereas women, we've dealt with patriarchy. We realize that it's crap and it sucks, and we're like, you know what, we're good. We're out. We're done. So no more free labor. No more depending on us to be emotional support. Go to therapy. Like, stop looking for a romantic partner to be your therapist. Go to freaking therapy. They're professionals for that. I mean, there's so many men who would benefit from therapy. Learn to cook. Stop thinking that there's a woman out there who's going to come in and feed you. Feed yourself. You're a grown up. That's a life skill. Feed yourself. Clean your home. So many men can't clean their homes, and it's sad. Like, it's really sad, because they've been raised to think that's a woman's job. It's not a woman's job. It's an adult's job. If you live in a home, your home should be clean. You should clean your home. Like, those are the things that are just crazy to me, that we live, even now, as women have changed and society has changed, men are not changing. They're not evolving with society evolving, and they're really struggling. That's why there's a lonely male crisis, like, whatever it is. Anyway, somebody asked, what post are you on? It was a Threads post. If you follow me on Threads, I'm Kai Fly Mommy, and you should see the post because it has like over 3,000 likes. It's a few down. I did it like day before yesterday. Yeah. But anyway, I need to go run my errands, and then I need to hit yoga. But as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I've gotten so many crazy comments from men that I think I'm going to do translating lonely men's comments again. I haven't done one in quite a while. So I think that's what I might do today. No promises, no promises. I might do it, though. But as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you follow me on my socials. I'm Kai Nicole on Facebook and Kai Nicole on Twitter. I'm Kai Fly Mommy on Threads and Instagram. If there's ever a subject that you want me to do a video on, or you want me to do a live chat on, just hit me up on any of those socials. I will make it whatever it is you ask. I'll probably do one. Yeah, I think that's it. And I'm always going to struggle to get off of here because it's always a struggle. But yeah, there's technical difficulties, so if it takes me a while to get on in the morning tomorrow, just know that this thing has been acting up, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if I need to re-download the YouTube app or something, but it's just been really wonky. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching, guys, and